In this video, I will show you how to read a file using java.io package, and there is a class called file reader class. With the help of file reader class, I am going to read a file. So first I will open the editor and creating a new Java file. Default lines of code is displayed here, and first job is import the required packages. Here our requirement is import the IO package. Inside the IO, what are the classes, methods, abstract classes, attributes, all are imported here. And here this is a demo program about file read demo. So file read demo I given public static void main. Here using file reader we are going to read it. So file reader is a class. For this class, first job is we need to create an object. This is the object creation step. Class name space valid object name is equals to new space class name. Here the file reader constructor is expecting a string argument. That string is nothing but enclosing the name of the file, including its extension is called as file name. So for example, sample.txt I given. So this is a sample.txt file, a text file. I am going to pass it to file reader function. That means my aim is I want to read the contents of the sample.txt file. So it is my job to create sample.txt file later. If suppose if I did not create a sample.txt file, I try to run this program, then simply it will display an error message like the specified file was not found. So here our requirement is we need to create a file with the name sample with the extension .txt, and we have to type few lines of information in the text file. Now after that, buffered reader. Buffer reader is also a built-in class. New buffer reader. This one. Now I will explain you about why I am using file reader, because my aim is to read a file. This is clear. Which file I am going to read? This file I am going to read. Now why I am creating buffer reader? Because I am reading a file with the help of file reader function. How can I read line by line information of that file? We have a method called readline method that is defined in buffer reader. So if I want to access readline method, first job is I need to create an object for the buffer reader. With the help of buffer reader function, I can create this. So for example, s is equals to readline. Readline accessed by its method object name, that is br.readline semicolon. Now after reading the contents of the input file sample.txt, we are cross checking whether it is not equals to null or not. That means is the file is empty file or not. Not equals to null means the file is non-empty file. The file is holding some information. How can we print that some information? With the help of system.out.println, we need to print that result. We need to print that result. And after that, close that while loop. See, in my previous video, I explained why I am passing a reader object as an argument to the buffer reader class. I will show you again. I will open the command prompt, and here this one there is a command called java-p to view the profile of a complete profile of a particular class. Here my requirement is I want to check what are the things that are defined under file reader class. File reader is a class belongs to IO package. So java.io.filereader is the fully qualified name of the file reader class. If I press this button, then I'm able to get all the information that is available under the file reader class. If you see here, one of the file reader constructor is expecting a string argument, but this constructor raises some file not found exception. So what is that file? If the specified string is representing the name of the file, if the file is not available in our local directory or in our system, then simply it will raise an exception message that is called file not found exception, like this. So this is about file reader. Similarly, if I want to know about buffer reader, This one. Buffer reader constructor is expecting a reader object. So here I need to pass only one argument, that is a reader object. So what is the reader object? I passed file reader object. File reader object name is fr I given. So that fr I pass it as a reader object for the buffer reader constructor. So why I passed here? This I am justifying this one by opening this syntax. You can see here. Buffer reader constructor is expecting one argument of type reader class, any reader class, that may be input stream reader, that may be buffer reader. In my previous example I passed the object of the input stream reader. Here my requirement is reading a file, that's why I go for file reader object. So the name of the file reader object is f, that I am passing. And after immediately I am accessing the readline method, I applied the readline method on the buffer reader. That means it points the first line in the input file sample.txt. Is the file is non-empty file, then we are checking whether it is a non-empty file or not. If it is a non-empty file, then we have to start reading. That is. So our next job is we need to create a text file. So creating a text file is done with the help of this normal text file. Here I am typing like Java programming, oops principles, and Java buzzwords means or features. So 3 lines of information I am saving, and I need to save this file in the same location where I am saving the source code. So here what is the name we used here in our program? Sample. What is the file extension? That is .txt, or you can give it .txt, sample.txt. It should be saved under same folder where we saved our source code. These two are available in the same location. Now we need to save this program. What is the name of this program? File read demo. This one. Save file read demo.java. So how to compile and run this program? I'm just clearing the previous contents. Java C space file read demo.java. Say I forget to move to my live directory. Yeah, there are some errors, so I'm going to clear it now. While s is not equals to l, s cannot find symbol s. Yeah, where the s is declared. Yeah, string s. I forget to declare. Why? Because the return type of the readline method is string. That is the reason it returns something to us, we need to hold it. If it returns integer, you need to hold it in integer. If it returns string, we need to hold it in a string. The return type of the readline method is string. That's why we are holding the result in a string. Now open the prompt, clear screen. Still errors are there. Yes, here the file reader function by default it is throws an exception called file not exception. So either we need to catch it or we need to declare it as a throw. So how can we convey throws that one to Java virtual machine? By placing the keyword throws, and the name of the exception is file not found exception, or we can give the superclass name that is called exception. If we given the superclass name, it can handle any kind of exception, not only file not found exception. Any kind of exception is handled by using this statement. So previously we did not given this statement, because of that reason we got this error. Now once that is given, it is successfully compiled. How do we run the program? So file read demo. So Java program. So same line is printing multiple times. I will show you why it is printing like this. Why? Because initially it is pointing to the first line in the program. The same first line I am trying to print it. I am not repeating that one. So how can we repeat it? We can repeat it with the help of br.readline. You can recompile. See, when I am giving like this, it is printing null. Why it is printing null? Because br.readline method doesn't hold any information like that. So I will just modify the code here, little logic I will change here. Instead of holding in this one, what I am trying to do, I will copy this one like this here. I am checking whether the br.readline is not equals to null or not. The entire thing, br.readline is not equals to null or not. And here that result is assigned to s. And here I am declaring string s. If I given like this, then it will work. Semicolon. So once we made any changes, immediately do the changes and save it. So compile. See how many lines of information is available in that text file. If you see here, this is our original text file. Java programming, OOPS principles, Java buzzwords. Suppose if I have given some more names like inheritance, exceptions, threads. Just I'm typing some lines of information in the same file called sample.txt. Now, so this is the previous output, only contains 3 lines. Now I updated the input text file, so I am recompile and run. Now I got the newly added lines also. I got it as part of the output. In this way, we can read a file using file reader class that belongs to java.io package. And I will show you one more thing, that is java.io.buffered reader. Buffered reader. You see here, there is a method called readline method which is returns string. Please remember this one. And this method also throws IO exception. So we are using readline as well as file reader. Both the file reader constructor throws a exception called file not found exception. Readline method throws an exception called IO related exception. And readline method return type is string. That is the reason we are holding this value in a string. The readline method, this statement returns a string. That's why we are assigning that value to a string. Why I declared this as a string means the reason is readline method return type is string. And this entire thing I am checking whether it holds something or not. If it is holds something, then print that information. So in this way we can read the file, and we can also print the line by line information using file reader and buffer reader. So very simple, import the packages, create objects for both file reader and buffer reader. As per the constructor requirement, pass the required arguments. Here it is expecting name of the file. Here it is expecting reader object, that is nothing but previous object name, that is called reader object f4. And after that, using readline method, line by line information captured, and we are comparing. Suppose when the file pointer reaches to the last line, there are no more lines, then it terminates the loop. Till then, the loop will run until and unless all the lines of information is read from the given input file sample. And one more thing is, we need to maintain this sample.txt file and file read demo.java, both are at one location. So in this way we can read a file.